Studies have shown that employees are more productive when they feel a sense of belonging within their workplaces. And what happens when these productive employees feel content at their jobs? They stick around longer. Armed with this knowledge, people with hiring power began deliberately looking for a culture fit in their recruits. In this podcast, we explore how to find the right fit beyond qualifications, focusing on aligning strengths and values to build a thriving work environment by using the Working Genius model. Join us as we begin the podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Janice Kleins, Marketing Manager for AOE, and today we are diving into the strategies that build strong, cohesive teams. Today's episode is all about hiring for team culture and strengths, not just job titles and salaries. We'll explore how to find the right fit beyond qualifications, focusing on aligning strengths and values to build a thriving work environment by using the Working Genius model. With me today is Kimberly Kaler, President of AOE and Certified Working Genius Consultant. And she is here to help us understand how all of it works together. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thanks for having me, Janice.
So let's dive right in. Let's start by acknowledging the common focus on hiring, experience and qualifications, but what else should we be looking at?
That's a great question. So let's think of it first from the candidate's perspective. When they typically look at job postings, they're looking at job titles and, let's be honest, typically the salary range as well. But these elements only offer a very limited glimpse into the suitability of the candidate, not only for our team or your team, but also their perspective. So there's a long listing of tasks in the job description, but that doesn't necessarily equate to describing what the working style is in terms of what the culture's like and the type of activities you're doing and how they're grouped together. So as important as it is to fill a role, it's even more crucial to create a very strong team culture where each member can thrive. And at AOE, we believe not just in filling a vacancy, but building a very cohesive, high-performing team. I've said since day one when I started my company in 2001, it's really important that we don't upset the apple cart. It's really key how all the players fit into the puzzle. And we have found an excellent tool to help us in this quest, and that's the Working Genius model.
Okay, so tell our audience what the Working Genius model is.
So the Working Genius, for lack of a better description, is a personality profile, but that's a little bit of a misnomer. It's so much more than that. It's an assessment designed to reveal an individual's innate strengths in their approach to work. It was developed by Patrick Lencioni. Some of you may have read some of his earlier work, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and some other books that really kind of made the same speaking circuit at the same time that Stephen Covey's books came out. And this framework helps organizations identify and leverage the unique talents of their team members. It allows us to create a more dynamic and productive work environment, because what we're really looking at is what brings somebody joy or what brings somebody excitement and what actually exhausts them in terms of tasks and in terms of responsibilities. So in today's work environment where collaboration and adaptability are more important than ever, understanding these working genius types can significantly enhance team performance. And the 6 types of working genius, and you can learn a lot more about it, but we have a lot of tools on our website, even a entire section devoted to it, are wonder, and those with a genius of wonder are naturally curious. They are great at pondering. You think of those folks as the big idea ones when you're in meetings. Discernment is individuals with a genius for having a knack for that intuitive judgment. They excel at evaluating ideas and plans and discerning what will work and what will work. Galvanizing are those cheerleaders, those coaches, they're the motivators and inspirers of the team. They have energy and enthusiasm to rally around each other and to get that momentum moving. Enablement, those with the genius of enablement are supportive and responsive. They're eager to assist with others. They're the ones that always raise their hand and are willing to help out, whether it's something that's within their bailiwick, within their normal skill set, or even in their normal workload. And then inventors are those creators. They are a step down from wonder, the big idea. They take those ideas and help funnel it. They really are the ones that help you solve problems. They're solution providers. And then tenacity is those individuals that have a strong drive to see projects through to completion. They're detail oriented and very persistent.
Okay, thanks, Kimberly, for going over all those the six types of working genius. And for those of you listening, we do have another podcast on that Kimberly and I did previously on Are You Working in Your Genius? It's a really good one. It dives way more deeper into these six types of working genius. So how do you use the working genius model and apply it to building your team?
Well, it's really key that, again, once we're hiring individuals, that it's not just the right qualifications. A lot of times people have the right qualifications to match a job description, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be successful with that role. It goes beyond just the culture of your organization, but how that person is programmed in terms of what they enjoy doing. Now, I don't want to leave the impression that, we should create perfect job descriptions for every human being based on what they like to do and not like to do. This is not that kind of like utopia business environment, obviously, but it is key to ask yourself whether the candidate has the capacity to grow within the company and take on new challenges. Are they a fit? So for example, if they are, really high in wonder, but you're hiring them to do tenacity work, are they a fit? They may be able to rise the occasion and do tenacity, but they're going to get burned out a lot easier than somebody that really enjoys, that detail oriented work. So really key to have discussions, really understand what motivates them as well.
Okay, so can you give our audience some examples of how the working genius model has helped?
Sure. So many companies have successfully integrated the working genius up until this point. And in full disclosure, we've done this for a couple of clients that have already seen great results, as well as AOE. We kicked off our program in the spring, and I have personally seen many examples of how it's helped our meetings get better, as well as the alignment of work. One notable example is an organization that I heard about that restructured its team based on the working genius results. And by placing employees in roles that align with their geniuses, they saw a 30% increase in employee satisfaction, as well as a 20% boost in productivity. And
Oh,
again, I realize that we're not in a utopia world here. I can't just state that, hey, go ahead and reorganize your organization based on what your employees want to do and don't want to do. That's not the message. But let's consider a realistic example. So think of Jane, a marketing manager with a genius of galvanizing and invention. And she has a great ability to inspire her team. She's very creative, and her ideas have led to several successful product launches. However, when she's straddled with the tenacity work, she experiences burnout quite a bit. And in comparison, Mark, with the genius of tenacity and enablement, has been pivotal to operational roles, and he does a really great job with it. However, he struggles and is able to, really needs to pull in other team members with the load of wonder and discernment. And I can share just from a personal level myself, I'm very high in discernment and galvanizing, which means I'm that coach, I'm that cheerleader, I'm that one that, really does not mind being in the role of pushing things forward as well as making decisions. I have some wonder and invention, but tenacity really burns me out. I love to get things to 80% and hand it off. And I'm very thankful that there's a lot of people in my team that help bring the project on home. Because I've lost interest and I burn out. I'm known for getting things done. So it's not a skill set. It's not that I don't have the strength of that, but it is something that really burns me out. So those are the types of things that we need to look at in our organizations. And I'm sure as I'm talking, you can probably think of examples of your own team of where, yeah, wonder came into play here, or that person just isn't detail oriented, but that's what we continue to put on his or her plate.
okay. So, while that's good for employees that are already on the team, how do you identify the working genius in potential hires, especially since personality assessments aren't allowed in all states as part of a pre-hire screening process?
So that's a great question, and we do need to be sensitive to that. One of the things you can do though is have some discussions with the candidates with regard to what type of work they do enjoy. And that may be difficult because when we're in a job interview, we don't always like to admit what we're not good at, or you probably have never been asked a question in a job interview with regard to what brings you joy and what brings you burnout. But go through the best you can questions related to working style, maybe even turning it around in terms of, describe a very positive project. What do the other team members look like? What are their roles? That should uncover quite a bit of cues for you. Another key is making sure you're successfully onboarding, as that's crucial for effective integrating of new hires into the team culture as well. So we need to look at all of this in terms of hiring the right people, hiring those that are a match, and then making sure we do a good job of onboarding them into your structure and culture.
Okay. So it sounds like by integrating the Working Genius into your hiring and team development strategies, you can transform your organization. And it has definitely helped with the AOE team. How can AOE help with this?
So AOE has the ability to do consulting using the Working Genius model. I am a certified facilitator and welcome the opportunity to work with your team to do a workshop, to give you access to the assessments, which are really easy. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to actually understand what your Working Genius are. And the great thing is using the assessment, you're able to create a team map, and you can see how your whole team maps out with regard to where their geniuses are. So a lot of resources that I know Janice will plug at the end of this on our website, but feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation about it for your team.
Great. Thank you, Kimberly. And thank you to those that are listening. If you're interested in any of the Working Genius information, we have resources on our website at aoeteam.com. We have a whole Working Genius section on our services tab. We have blogs, and we also have another podcast that covers the Working Genius in more detail. And you can find all of that on our website at aoeteam.com. Thanks so much, Kimberly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope this session provides value, and we hope you will join us for our next podcast.